Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask the Wizard, streaming live for October the 21st. Topic today, you have to think about this one a little bit. Why trying to get back what you've lost is a lost cause. We're going to talk about that today, starting the 5-minute timer now. Get comfortable, grab a coffee, and we will see you in 5. Well, hello, everyone. Let me turn this down. I tell you, that we want to do. What? No, we want to do that. There we go. Hey. Facebook is a valuable tool. Agreed. And they're kind of the only player in the field, and that camera's still hot. They're the only player in kind of this field. So that's the one you work with. But boy, sometimes I tell you, because they'll change things, especially for me being a creator. So any of you that have Facebook pages or anything like that, you'll every once in a while, it'll just change, but you don't know that it has changed. You're often not sure how it has changed. You don't know what has changed. And there's really no sort of manual, if you will, on how to work with it now that it's changed. So, yeah. So all of a sudden I go, okay, where am I broadcasting to? What's it doing now? Anyway, I digress. Why trying to get back what you've lost is a lost cause. The reason it is, actually one statement pretty much covers it, but you know that I'll talk more than that. I call it the creative flow. There's 1,000 different names for it. It's that natural flow between the non-physical and the physical. So I call it the creative flow. You call it universe. Really doesn't matter. I'm going to use creative flow. One of the nature of the creative flow is it's infinitely creative. So what that means, is it can't do the same thing twice. It can't duplicate. It just creates. That's all it does. See, this is one of the reasons why trying, quote unquote, to eliminate something in your life experience that you don't want, the creative flow, your subconscious, another word you could use for that, it has no idea what you're talking about. I'm sure you've heard this 100 times over. Bob Proctor is, I think, the first one I heard say it, what you resist persists. So when you're trying to eliminate what you don't want, I talked about this in the Reiki workshops all the time, you're not eliminating illness, if you will, you're introducing health. And when you introduce health, it displaces the illness. Same thing. Because this creative flow only creates, it doesn't know how to take away. It just creates new. So what happens is, the sun just went under a cloud. I'm using natural light here, you can tell. The sun just went under a cloud, I'm thinking. So when you're looking at what you lost, now if you think about that, in order to look at what you've lost, it requires you to look backwards, not forwards. Okay, just think about that. The only way you would know that you have lost something is if you take where you're at right now, turn around and look backwards to where you were, what you had. Boy, that sun. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try some extra light. Let's see what happens. Because it just died. There, that works. Now watch the sun will come out and it'll get super hot. You're standing where you're at. This is what I have. This is what I don't have. Whatever it is. My God. This must be good stuff. Throat chakra. And then you look backwards to what you had, right? And you don't have it now. So that's the only way you know you've lost something when you think about it mechanically, right? Otherwise you wouldn't know. Our mother's that way right now. Shauna, my sister, and I. Mother's doing fine. She's 95 now. Her memory is, so memories, visualizations, present moment, and projections into the future, they kind of get all mixed up. Anyway, and there's that light. It's going to make it too hot. Oh, well, that's fine. We'll just do that. Look at that. We'll turn this down. Here comes the sun. Look at that. See, that's the difference a light can make. Look at that, eh? That's pretty cool. We'll just do this. There we go. I'm going to leave it up, though. So when you look back at what you've lost, And when then you're sort of trying, if you will, to regain what you've lost, it requires you to look backwards, which puts you kind of focused in the exact opposite direction of the creative flow. Because the creative flow only looks forward, because it's creating, right? Now, that doesn't mean, just hold on. No, hold on. I got 14. Okay. I'm just doing to see what I'm arranging. This is just kind of a little informal thing between you and I right here. Because creative flow is looking forward. It's busy creating. Now, it may use aspects of the past to create into the future. See how that goes? But it doesn't create into the past. And when we're looking at trying to regain what we've lost, see, we may be looking into the future too, but our mind is, I'm trying to regain what I've lost in the past, rather than creating something new in the future that contains elements. And there goes the sun into the cloud. Contains element. This is why you control light instead of using natural light. And containing elements from the past. But it's not trying to recreate the past because it can't. And when we're trying to recover what we've lost, I mean, by definition, we're trying to recreate, or duplicate the past. Creative flow has no idea what you're talking about. So more often than not, what you're doing is you're stuck in that vibratory set point of, I've lost this and I'm trying to find it again. Remember, it's always that vibratory set point that you're going to attract. So if you're in that spot where I've lost something and I'm trying to find it again, you're currently sitting in that spot where I've lost it. So, and I get it. Believe me, I get it. There's a lot of things I've lost. And it's really, really easy to go, geez, I wish I had that back. And then you get in that mindset of, I want to try and recreate it. So a Reiki workshop. I've got a Reiki workshop for the first time in 18 months, I would say, here in Red Deer. November, first weekend in November, 5th and 6th, I think, or whatever it is. So any Red Deer folks or Red Deer area, if you want to stop in, love to have you. And so then it's really interesting in that you go, okay, so I'm regaining, right? I'm regaining what I've lost. I'm making the comeback, all that kind of stuff. But that vibratory set point of that is, I've lost something that I'm trying to come back from, rather than I'm recreating something brand new, including aspects from the past. But they're just ingredients that I'm injecting into the present moment, which will then create something brand new into the future. And then, of course, I see that show up here. And the reason this is so valuable is because now you're in alignment with the creative flow, because that's what the creative flow is doing. So now there isn't this push-pull. Creative flow is moving this way. You're trying to move that way. Creative flow is trying to create something new. And so often, because remember, the creative flow is neither good nor bad. It's like gravity. If I took this coffee mug and let go, it's going to fall and spill coffee all over the place. And the act of doing that, gravity isn't going to say, I did a bad thing. It's not going to do that. It's not going to say, I did a good thing either. It's neither nor. It just is. So this creative flow just is. It just creates and creates and creates. So the ingredients that you're injecting into the future, right? Because it feels like the future is coming towards us and we're stepping into it. Not mechanically accurate, but it works for here. What you're injecting into it is, I've lost this. And so guess what happens? You're going to end up manifesting more of that theme of, I've lost this. And it's the best of intentions. I'm trying to regain what I've lost. Yes, but where's the set point you're coming from? And what is the nature of the creative flow? And how can I sort of harmonize with the creative flow? So I'm working with it. I'm working with gravity, if you will. I'm not fighting against it. That's it. Simple, sweet, really, really powerful. Remember, trying to get back what you've lost puts you in the vibratory set point. Need more coffee. That you've lost something. You're looking into the past, which starkly contrasts with the creative flow, which only creates into the future. It has no idea about loss. It only includes, which is why it's so valuable to whatever those things are that you feel you've lost. Okay, take those pieces and introduce them into the next thing you want to create. They won't look exactly the same. That's the thing. It doesn't and won't look exactly the same. It can't look exactly the same because the creative flow can't duplicate. But here's the other thing. I will close with this. By design, the creative flow wants to do better and better, and it expands. It evolves. It wants to grow and grow. See, it doesn't want to duplicate. It wants to enhance. It wants to get bigger. It wants to get better. It wants to get more. It doesn't want to just regain, because we're designed to become more and more and more and more and more. In so many respects, all we have to do is stop fighting it. Easier said than done. Believe me, I know. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Another episode of Ask the Wizard streaming live. Reiki Workshop in Red Deer. Go to healingcenter.ca, and you can find a link for that. Share. We're all in this together. See you on the web.